Hey Hunters, Halozu here for the last part of our Arcane Subclasses UA update uh, overview. So we're going to be looking at the new Necromancer Wizard. So Necromancer, uh, yeah, let's see. Necromancy Spellbook now has some tweaks. Notably, a new feature that lets you find familiar for skeletons and zombies. Awesome. Undead Thralls uses Animate Dead and has additional bonuses. Nice. Harvest Undead, renamed from Undead Secrets, has been redesigned to restore HP when you destroy an undead creature you control. So basically, sacrifice them to protect you. Yeah, very much on brand. Then Death's Master. Just when you reduce an undead is reduced to 0 HP, can create a big explosion. Yeah, that's awesome. Especially coming after the previous feature, where sometimes your undead just randomly just suddenly go to 0 HP for mysterious circumstances. So that's definitely cool. And I definitely see a lot of stuff being used for that, actually. First up, we got Necromancy Savant. It's Savant. Necromancy Spellbook, then. So, still getting necrotic resistance. Not bad. Grim Harvest, cast a Necromancy spell. Choose an undead creature you can see in 60 feet. And then it regains slot level plus wizard level HP. Nice. Though healing your undead isn't, like, later on, this isn't as good. But then again, I feel like later on you're just going to do stupid combos. Which is slightly concerning, actually. But, oh well, we'll talk about that later. Then the Undead Familiar. So when you cast Find Familiar, which you get for free, you can also choose a skeleton or zombie. So it's good to see the sometimes great Warlock option come back and just get, hey, here's extra familiar choices, which is actually really cool. Especially because you can use your skeletons and zombies to cast Chill Touch. That's awesome. It's actually really cool. So you can get that from the start now, which is definitely nice. Grave Power at 6th. When you use Arcane Recovery, lose 1 exhaustion level. Sometimes useful, sometimes meh. Then Overwhelming Necrosis. Damage from wizard spells and features ignores resistance to necrotic. Ways to mitigate poison immunity would also be nice, but I guess poison can't have nice things. Or at least not be absolutely terrible. Then Undead Thralls. So we get a few things here. Always have Animate Dead prepared instead of Summon Undead, which is nice. And we start casting a spell. Modify it so its spell level is increased by 1, which is also great. And when you create or summon undead with a necromancy spell, you gain the following benefits. So, Undead Fortitude. Add spell slot level plus intelligence modifier to the HP of the creature. Definitely nice and useful, especially for those squishy zombies. Then you have Withering Strike, so basically, when it hits, it deals extra necrotic damage equal to your int modifier. Nice! Though this does come with the asterisk that it would be nice if this actually... I would actually change this out for using your spell attack for the attack rolls of your undead you create and stuff. If it's better, just as I would rather hit with the darn things than have to worry about than having the extra damage. Like, the extra damage is nice, but I'd rather have the accuracy buff. Or both. Both is good, but I don't know if we're getting away with that. And at level 10, we got Harvest Undead. So, when you're bloodied but aren't killed outright from taking damage, use a reaction, reduce an undead creature you control UNC to 0 HP, and then regain wizard level HP. Awesome. Doesn't do that much to keep you away from getting bloodied again, but that doesn't really matter too much when you're able to just blow up another undead minion, so definitely cool. Situational, yes, but nice in a pinch, and even better when Death Master comes out. So you have Bolster Undead, which lets you use bonus action to just buff all of your undead. They get wizard level temporary HP, and they can only gain it once per day. Though I will say maybe this should be 12 for the next 12 hours, just so it's like, oh, well, if you do it in the evening and then you're doing fights in the evening and then the next morning you're doing fights, just to kind of clean that up a little bit, or it's like until you've finished a long rest. Granted, usually you'll just have new undead, but it is kind of weird how it works. Because there's some cases where it's like, okay, that doesn't work intuitively. Then there's Extinguish Undead. When an undead creature you can see is reduced to 0 HP, you can make it explode with a number of d6s equal to half the unexpended hit dice, with a minimum of 1d6. And it's always just d6s, by the way. It's not actually based on their hit dice, but yeah. Then they explode in 10-foot emanation. Dex save or take necrotic damage equal to that many d6s. And they can't take reactions. And then successful save, only half the damage. And when it's an undead you don't control, it takes a reaction and a 5th rank or higher spell slot to do it. Which, fair. But, yeah. So a few notes. I don't know if you can... There's not a limit on how many you can explode. Which means, hypothetically speaking, a wizard, a necromancer, might, quote-unquote, accidentally drop a fireball on a bunch of undead they have surrounding a big boss enemy. Like, and then they all explode. And they all trigger. It's definitely a big setup. And it's kind of stupid and funny, but, yeah, definitely a bit crazy to do this, but it's definitely funny. This might need to be nerfed to be like, oh, you can only explode one undead per turn, or undead per round. But, as it is, this is the most hilarious ability I've ever seen. Of just, oh my gosh, the stupid crap you can pull with this. Of just, oh hey, undead horde, surround this guy. Fireball, sucker. Oh no, all my undead died. Oh well, they explode and kill you. So yeah, that's funny. But, yeah. I love it. I love it. I don't know if it's gonna stay. Or at least stay in that form. It might be too much fun. Because it's kind of like Diablo Necromancer Corpse Explosion of just, oh yeah, one thing dies, and then everything else. So, Transmuter. Transmuter Stone. You just get proficiency in con saves, in addition to another benefit. And it can be used as spellcasting focus. So basically they removed durable and just gave it default. Fair. Completely fair. It was just the best option. So I was like, okay, you just get this and something else now. Wondrous Alteration is replacing Wonderful Enhancement and is just based off the Alter Self spell. I don't know why they made the swap, but they did. Empowered Transmutation replaces Twin Transmutation, so hey, it's actually something not terrible. And then basically anything with an upcast benefit can be empowered now. So much better. Especially since the previous one, it was like, it didn't hit a lot of stuff, weirdly. And then it was just the Enchanter feature, but Transmutation, which, at least on Enchantment, a lot of core spells have it, so it works out. Not so with Transmutation, so that's much better. Potent Stone, you just get more options and more choices. Nice. Shape Changer is back and now modifies Polymorph. Specifically when you use it on yourself. And Master Transmuter now lets you not destroy your stone by expending a spell slot. Might have been too good, though. I'll get to it. Transmutation Savant. It's a Savant feature. So, yeah. Then we have Transmuter's Stone. So, when you finish a long rest, make a magic stone that lasts for a while. Uses spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. You have proficiency in con saves while holding it, as said. So, nice. And one of the following benefits. And you can change it when you cast a transmutation spell using a spell slot. So, all cool. And it's still just dark vision, so plus 60 feet of dark vision, 10-foot speed, or resistance to a damage type. Simple but useful. Then Wondrous Alteration, so you always have Alter Self prepared, and can cast it without expending a spell slot once per day. So, nice. And while under the effect of Alter Self, you get an additional benefit per option. So for Aquatic Adaptation, you can dash as a bonus action underwater, which is actually pretty neat. Change appearance, you get advantage on deception checks. So that checks out. The natural weapons is now 2d6 instead of only 1. Very nasty. And then also advantage on con saves to maintain concentration. So even more benefits for if you're actually going to use the weapons. Neat. No armor buff, but oh well. I guess you'll be fine, even though you're a wizard. So yeah, I will say the damage buff, probably replace that with a durability buff, I'll be honest. Then level 6, Empowered Transmutation. So when you cast a transmutation spell that doesn't deal damage, and has benefits when you upcast it, you act like you upcasted it by 1. And you have int uses of this per day. It's a nice feature. Definitely very useful. And offers a bit of versatility. It's not always going to be great, but it can be useful in the right situations, which is definitely nice. Then Potent Stone. Get to choose 2 options. Can't choose the same one twice unless it's resistance, which you just get different resistances. Neat. Then you also have the new options for Mighty Build. They have advantage on strength saves, and they're one size larger when determining carrying capacity. Definitely a neat one. The second part is a bit niche. Overall, it's actually a bit niche, but it's neat. And then you can also give them 30 feet of tremor sense. Not the most amazing thing in the world, but I will say, when it comes up, it can be incredibly useful to have tremor sense in very specific circumstances. So it's nice to have that in your back pocket as a, oh crap, something's burrowing. Then we get Shape Changer, so you always have Polymorph prepared, and you can cast it once per day for free. I'm actually surprised this isn't on yourself for free once per day, but it's not. Then when you target yourself, you can modify it in a few ways, and it's only once per day. Kind of weird, but I don't know if this really needed that restriction, but basically, you retain your personality and such, as well as your mental stats, features, languages, and feats. I don't know why it wouldn't keep your personality and stuff. I didn't really know it didn't keep that. So that's very weird to specify. And then also, you can cast transmutation spells while shapeshifted, except for any spell with a material component, or with the cost or is consumed. I am really upset with this, because you can't use this with Dragon's Breath, which would be the best one. Come on! Remove the consumed part of Dragon's Breath, you cowards. But anyway, definitely neat benefits, but I don't know if it needed the restriction. Then Master Transmuter. Use action to do one of the following powerful effects, and it either destroys the stone, or you can use a 5th rank or higher spell slot to retain it. So basically turns these into 5th rank spells, which is definitely very powerful. And I'm surprised they didn't keep it to a, you can only use it once per day, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, where it's like, oh yeah, you can use 5th rank spells to do this. But anyway, you get Major Transformation, transmute up to a 10-foot cube or 8 connected 5-foot cubes into another non-magical object, the stuff. So you just, bam, big transformation. Panacea. Creature regains half its HP. Cured of all magical incantations and curses and all that. If it's poisoned, petrified, those end as well, so just big heal. Restore life, just Ray is dead. Now, I don't know if this one might need some... It's kind of weird, because the way it works is it does say you use the stone in place of the required material components. So I don't... It creates a weird situation of, but what if you retain the stone with the spell slot? Do you have to expend the stone for this one? I don't know. Then Restore Youth is still here for some reason. It does reduce exhaustion to 0, though, which is not terrible, but it's still kind of just randomly here. But overall, I think it's mostly nice. It's just, there's a few weird changes on Transmuter. where I'm like, I don't know if that's quite right. But overall, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. Like all of them, I think they're all fine. Arcane Archer is definitely the standout of, oh my gosh, this is a major update. So much so that I want a errata to the player's handbook to bring Battlemaster in line with it, because it's such a big update and improvement. And Tattooed Warrior is definitely the worst. For the Wizards specifically, I think Necromancer is the best, and I'd say Enchanter is the worst update. Because Enchanter, I think it still needs some work with the first and last features it gets, but other than that, I think this was a good one. They're definitely doing a bit better than they were in some of them. But without further ado, I will see y'all next time. Halo Zoo, out.